What shall we talk about?
I wondered both for the people who are leaving, who are leaving Brockwood, and for we here, when you're not here, what does it mean to work on all of this, on one's own?
I don't quite follow what you're talking.
I think she says that when people leave Brockwood, like students leave here, that is when they finished their education, also when they're probably away on holiday or whatever, what does it mean to work, continue working on what we are working at over here during the holidays or after you leave?
Is that what you want to talk about? That is, what are you going to do with your lives? Is that it? Is that it? Is that what you want to talk about? Or have some other ideas?
I'd like to raise something, Krishnaji. I'd like to ask, what is the relationship or the connection between observation, silence, and love?
Observation, silence, and love. Is that what you want to talk about? Before we talk about these things, could we possibly be able to think together? It doesn't mean that you accept or reject or put forward your particular opinion and hold on to it, or point of view or a conclusion that you think is right and unyielding. Could we, in spite of all that, think together? Doesn't mean that we all agree, but the capacity and the willingness to think together. Not about something, either personal or objective, but see the implications and perhaps the necessity of thinking together. Thinking. Could we go into that? Would that be of interest to you? And then we could tackle this question, what are you going to do when you leave this place? And also, what does it mean to observe? Not only visually, but to observe non-verbally, to observe without any distortion, and in that observation not draw a conclusion or have a conviction about what you have seen, but just to observe. And what does it mean to be silent? Both physically, to be absolutely quiet, And also, what does it mean to love? But perhaps we'll go into all that, could we? Find out for ourselves what it is to think together. And then from there we could go into the other. Would that be all right? What do you say, sir?
Yes.
Do you want to go into this? What does it mean to think together? Because I tell you why. It implies, doesn't it, a relationship that is not opposed to each other. You may think one thing and I may think another. And yet we may live in the same room or the same house, or husband and wife and boy and girl and so on. But if we don't think together, inevitably there is division in relationship. Right? Would you accept that? So could we find out what it means to think together? And then we can take any particular subject, like observation, or what we're going to do when we leave, and so on. Could we go into this? Do we see the necessity of thinking together? Please bear in mind, not about something. Then, if you're thinking about something, then all our personal reactions arise. Our objections, our prejudices, which may prevent our thinking together. You may have one particular kind of experience which gives you great pleasure and some understanding, and you hold on to it. And another may have another kind of experience, and you will hold on to it. And so relationship becomes impossible under those circumstances. Right? So do we first see the importance and the need for thinking together? This is a dialogue. This is not just a talk by me and you just listen and go back. But together we are going into this question, right? If it interests you. If it bores you, can go to talk about something else, right?
But it seems strange to consider thinking without thinking about.
We're going to find out what it means to think together, thinking together, and thinking about something. They are two different things. See, we can all agree or disagree if we think about something. You have one's prejudice, one's experience, one's knowledge, preconceived ideas, viewpoints, and so on, will prevent thinking together about something. But if we both of us saw, all of us rather, or some of us, saw the need and the importance of being able to think together. Thinking, you understand? Or is this, have I explained this or not?
I do find it difficult because I also can't see what you mean by thinking if it's not about something.
We're going to find out. I don't know if there's a difference. First, I'm just stating if there is a difference. I think there is a difference, but I'm not quite sure. So let's play with it for a little while. Do we see the importance or the quality of a mind that's capable of thinking not about oneself, about what you're going to do, about one's hurts and so on, but can we think without all that interfering? You follow what I'm saying? Is this too difficult? Huh? Is this too difficult? Am I talking about something that's a little bit... What do you say?
Well, maybe you could specify a bit.
Huh?
Maybe you could specify a bit to me.
I'm going to go into it. First of all, will you listen to what I have to say? Just listen. Don't put aside your objections, if you say, I don't, just find out how to listen. Will you? Have you ever found out what it means to listen? To listen without the interference of your own attitudes, your own values, without projecting your own understanding or not understanding, but just to actually listen. You had jazz last night. You played jazz. I believe it's awfully good. And the whole thing was very good, I believe. I was not there because I wasn't feeling very well. Now, to think about jazz, your own personal vanities or your dislike or like interferes. Right? Right? So, we are used to thinking about something. Now I want to find out, with your help and together, if there is a thinking, if thinking is not common to all of us, thinking, not about something, thinking, right? Can you think and find out what is the nature of thinking? Do you understand what I'm saying? Is this getting too difficult? I mean, tell me, please. If it does, we'll move to something else.
But when you say just thinking, do you mean more inquiring, looking?
All right. You think about something, don't you? What happens when you think about something? Go on, just talk it over with her. Let's talk it over.
You're focused
Huh?
on a particular subject.
Yes, you're thinking about a particular thing. What takes place in that process? Thinking about something, about a particular incident or a statement, and so on. What goes on there? Go on.
Drawing a memory.
Huh?
You draw from your memory.
You draw from memory, right? Right? So, what takes place when you draw from memory?
You kill what you're thinking about.
Hmm?
You kill what you're thinking about.
You kill what you're thinking about? I'm not quite sure. Look. He said just now, you draw from memory the whole movement of thinking, right? You following this? Observe it in yourself. You have had an experience, pleasant or unpleasant, that has left a mark, a memory, and that memory, from that memory you respond, right? Right? That's called thinking, isn't it? Right? So, when you begin to think from a memory, which is the residue of a particular incident, what takes place? Go into it.
And then you don't deal with the incident that's taking place at that particular moment.
So, that is, your memory prevents you from observing what is actually happening. Right? Is that what you're saying? So can you observe or listen without the interference of the past remembrance? You're following on this?
Sir, when you talk about thinking together, you're not talking about that kind of thinking. You're not talking about mutually blocking out our observation by delving into our past or our memories. So surely you must be talking about some other kind of thinking when you say, can we think together?
What do you think I think?
But it must, thinking also, besides memory, it also includes reasoning.
All that goes on, sir, quite right. Reasoning, logically or illogically.
Yes.
Observing, distortedly or accurately.
Right.
Or hearing clearly.
Trying to anticipate consequences, etc.
Yeah. So, we are used to that. It's our habit. Now I'm asking something else. It may have no meaning at all, but I think it has. I may be wrong, I like to be corrected. Is there a communication between two people or with a group of people in which memory doesn't operate? I wonder if you're... This may be too difficult. No. If it is just, I'll stop.
Sir, in the first instance, there would be content to the thought. Are you suggesting in this possible other kind of thought there would be content or no content?
Wait a minute, let's begin again. What do we mean by communication? I want to tell you something. And I use words. The words have been learned, memorized, to express a certain feeling or certain thought, pleasurable or unpleasurable, right? Unpleasurable. So we are used to using words to communicate, right? And the word must have the same meaning to you as to the speaker. Follow on this? Huh? Now, if both of us are interested in the same subject, at the same time, with the same intensity, we both are in a state of communication. Right? You see that? That is, we both of us are concerned about something. We both of us are deeply, seriously involved in it. We both of us have used words to convey our interest, our desire to comprehend, and so on. So, what is the state of our mind when we are like that? You understand? Have you understood what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, is that thinking together?
Yes.
From that state you think together, right? I wonder.
It depends on the subject matter, because if you're going to think together on a thing like jazz,
no, I'm not
the
talking.
thought comes up in everybody's emotions.
I'm not talking. I don't think you're. I'm sorry, Ms. Perry, I'm not quite sure I made myself clear. I'm not talking about jazz or any particular subject. We said communication is to share together an understanding of a statement. I make understanding of a statement, understanding of an incident. Together, we are sharing that. But before we share it, we use words. Words which you and the speaker have learned, memorized. We both speak English, or we both speak French or Italian, whatever it is. And we say, yes, we are in that state of mind when the words have been used, and the words no longer play a part, but we are in a state of communication, in a state of observing together. Have I made this clear? I think it's clear.
Yeah.
Unless I'm down. Have I made this clear?
No.
Is that, from that, is there a thinking together? I've got it. You've understood what I've said? That is, let's make a statement which is common to most people, which is, most people in the world, probably in this community too, are self-centered, right? That's a common fact. We can go into the whole nature of what is to be self-centered, explain it, not agreeing on this explanation, to which we would probably all agree. And hearing that statement, seeing the implications of that statement, the activities born from that statement, we both of us are interested to see the nature of self-centeredness, right? What it means. We can go into what it means and what is implied and so on. But we both of us are together looking, observing, right? And from that observation, from that being together about that, could we then think together about it? You follow what I'm saying? I think I've got it clear. Sorry, I'm not using you to make myself clear. Have you understood this? Or you're looking somewhere else? You've understood it? Now, are you in that state of communication so that from that state we think together? You understood my question? Then we can think together about something. Not think together first about something, but rather the other way around. Have you understand? Would you explain to me what you have understood? Go on. Go on, Shakuntalaji. You agreed, say I understood. Go on.
It's a sort of finding one another's rhythm, isn't it? That.
Not quite, no.
No,
No.
I'm using the word rhythm in.
What? We are not in. You and I are not involved in it. We are observing, hearing a statement that human beings all over the world are inclined or generally or are self-centered. You hear that statement and you say, what do you mean by that? And there are explanations and so on, the consequences of this being self-centered. We both are involved in this examination of this statement. And when we are so involved, our minds are together. We are in a state of communication with each other. No? Huh? Come on, sirs.
If we don't agree on that statement, can we still be communicating it?
No, of course not. But we both of us have examined that statement. What is implied in it? What are the consequences of this self-centeredness? When there is self-centeredness, there is no relationship. Though one may be married and have sex and all that, but actually, when one is self-centered, there is no relationship. That self-centeredness is to be ambitious, to seek success, my success. You follow all that's involved in this self-centeredness. Now we are examining the implications and the activities and the consequences of being self-centered. Both of us are interested in it, right? Because both of us want to find out, right? Now, when we are in that state of communication, you follow? Both of us are interested. Both of us are passionately concerned. Both of us are at the same level. So what is then from that state, you can think about various things together. I wonder if you get this.
You're saying that the state is there before.
Huh?
You're saying that the state is there before.
No, the
before
state comes only when we both of us are interested in a particular thing. It's not there. I'm interested. What? One is interested, what? What are you interested in? Not casually, but deeply. What are you interested in? What's going to happen to you when you leave? Is that it? Find out, what are you interested in deeply?
Isn't that in the category of thinking about something, where the fact is that we are here now?
Yes.
So, I mean, if we start with thinking, as you're implying, together now, then we come on to thinking about. Is that...
Are we, no sir, are we in a state of communication?
You see, so you say when we are self-centered, there is no relationship.
What?
We find that within self-centeredness, there is a good deal of relationship. Very satisfactory.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Sorry, sir, but that's a fact.
Is it a fact?
Yes, that within self-centeredness, we find good relationships.
Is it a fact that when one is self-centered, that self-centered means being wanting one's own success, one's own fulfillment of certain ambitions, and you also are in that same process? What is our relationship? We may hold hands, we may sleep together, but our thoughts we are miles apart. No?
I think there is a kind of relationship where A uses B and B uses A, both out of that state of self-centeredness.
But that's not a relationship, it is
It's a kind of
exploitation.
very strong relationship.
I exploit you and you exploit me. If I exploit you because it gives me pleasure to talk to an audience, then it's no relationship between you and me. Obvious.
Nevertheless, a very strong kind of bond is formed.
Not a bond, it's a form of habit. I'm attached to that habit which I've formed during 20 years of this exploiting each other, and it becomes, I'm caught in it. I'm the man, well, it's a trap one is caught in. It's not bond. Now, wait. Now, wait. Are we thinking together about this? Or are you saying, well, you go on, you think what you like, but there is a bondage. There is a bond. I won't use a bondage, sorry. There is a bond, deep, abiding, affectionate, loving bond. You may hold on to that and say you go your way of thinking about it. I won't agree with you. I keep quiet. In that, there is no communication, right? But if we both of us see that self-centeredness does actually prevent relationship, in the deepest sense of that word, both of us see it, right? You understand? Even superficially, verbally we see it. Or you can see it non-verbally much deeper. The implication of this self-centeredness.
May I ask a question, sir? And you said earlier, two persons are interested in a particular something deeply, whatever it is, and then there's relationship. And they have a relationship.
I'm not talking about relationship, Shankar. We are talking about the quality of communication. First.
Okay, there's communication when two persons are interested in a particular
Obviously,
thing.
sir.
Yes. But
When you and I are interested in building a room or going for a walk, there's common interest.
So is thinking together more than just communicating together? Is it more than just this close?
Much more, much.
Could you go into the nature of that then?
No, sir. First, establish communication with each other and find out what the quality of the mind that is having communicated are open to each other. You understand? No? Have you explained this?
But when there's this mutual, when you have, you're communicating because of a particular interest, isn't that communicating about something?
All right, I said that. We both of us are interested about self-centeredness. That is, about something. Now, in that quality of communication, our minds are together. Right? About that. Now, what is the quality of these two minds that are together? Not about something. You get what I'm... Have you understood? No, you're not me.
If about is going to bring about that quality.
No, not about. Moment we are involved in about, we will introduce so many contradictions into it. I agree with you, I don't agree with you, it is right, it's wrong, that becomes dictatorial and so on, so on, so on. But before we enter into all that, isn't it important to find out what it means to be in communication with each other? That's all first. The nature of a mind that is that are together.
Could communication be a total willingness for the other to be as they are?
No. Again, about something.
So are you saying that the initial common interest brings the two minds together?
Yes.
Then there is a together going forward that drops the something.
Yes, that's right. You've got it. With that quality of two minds meeting together, and from there think together. You follow? I think this is clear. Right? Will you do that? Because I'm going to introduce something presently. Can we do that? That our minds are together, not about something. We have come together about something, but about something has been dropped, put aside. Now our minds are together. Are we?
Is there a lower and an upper state of communication, or only a state of communication? Excuse me, I don't speak English. Is there an upper and a lower state of communication, or only a state of communication?
He's asking if there's an upper and lower state of communication.
No, just communication. I want to tell you, this is not personal, I want to tell you, I love you. There's no upper, lower. I love you. And you may say, well, my dear chap, what do you mean by that? Do you say merely because you want to get something from me? And so on. You are missing my whole point. If you have understood this, that thinking together has brought us, thinking together about something has brought us to our two minds together, and we have dropped about something. Our minds are together. Right? Now keep that as the together. Now let's think about something from together. You understand the point? I want to forget it. Have you understood? Huh?
It requires tremendous attention and energy.
Huh?
He says it requires tremendous attention and energy to do that.
Yes, I'm not tremendous. We are doing it now. If you are interested in it. Don't say it requires. That means you are exercising, you're finding difficulties how to have tremendous energy and concentration or attention. But we put all that aside. We are just thinking together about something. Then our minds have investigated what we have been thinking about together, right? About this subject, and we've dropped the subject. Now our minds are in a state of communication with each other. Now, it's simple, isn't it? Huh? Have you got this? Now, from there, being together, observe or a subject which you want to discuss. You follow it? Jazz, whatever you like. God, maybe, but it's always together. You understood? I wonder if you see this thing. If you once see this, there will be no opposition in thinking. Oh, come on, sirs.
Well, it's difficult, for me, it's difficult to envision a tremendous amount of attention. I can see it as a tremendous lack of inattention or of obstacles.
And no, sir, you're introducing something which is not necessary. Wait a minute, sir. We are both, all of us, are interested in security, right? 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 Now let's investigate that together. First, what is implied in that? Could we do that? What's implied? Each one, under this present civilization, each one, and the culture and all the rest of it, each one is concerned with his own personal security. Right? He may say, yes, I'm also concerned with my wife's security, my children, but it's my security. I identified with my family, with my wife, with my nation, with my God, with my guru, with my priest, whatever it is. Right? Let's think it together about it. Now, what happens when each one of us in this modern world is thinking his own personal success and security? What happens? Go on, it's so obvious.
It's division.
Huh?
There's division. There's division.
There's division. What does that mean?
There's no moving together.
No, wait, what does division mean?
Clashing.
mean, there's a clash of different...
What does it, find out what division means. Divided. The consequences of it, sir. Follow it through right to the end.
Isolation.
Division means conflict, doesn't it? Not the different nations, British, French, German, Indian, American, there's a division. There's always economic conflict. The conflict of pride of being British or American. And the economic conflict, social conflict. So division invariably means conflict. The Hindu and the Muslim, the Arab and the Jew. The communist, the totalitarianism opposed to so-called democracy. So when one is seeking one's own fulfillment, one's own ambition, one's own security and success, that inevitably must create division. Right? Obvious. Now, wait a minute, follow it too. Follow this sequence of this division. It exists in the family, right? Between brother and sister, between father and mother. This division exists when he goes to the office and she goes to do some other work. So they're always living in conflict. It's inevitable. Is that so or not? Don't agree with me about anything. Don't accept what I'm saying at all. Examine it. I'm not authority. So we have created a world where each one of us is seeking security and fighting others. Right? It's so obvious. Now, wait a minute. Do we see this thing together? Or you have reserve? You say, no, it's not quite like that. If it's not quite like that, bring what you have to say, put it forward. Let's examine it.
It seems that we need security.
Huh?
We need security.
Of course we need security. We need security.
Apart from that, there's also the desire.
You asked a question. We need security, right? Or do governments, countries, priests, the economic conditions, all the environment, does that give us security? Has it given us? You may be temporarily secure. There's always war. Always is competition. So wait a minute, does individual desire for security, does it not bring about danger, insecurity? Go on, think it out. You following all this, or you are asleep? Being one is a Hindu living in India, identifies himself with that country, and in that identification, there is certain security, and only one identifies with something that's enduring. You don't identify yourself with the wind. So, when one identifies oneself with a country, then you try to protect that country, you're proud of that country, and all the rest of the nonsense goes on. And the man who lives across what so-called frontier, he's also exactly like you. So there's battle going on. Quarrels, all the rest of it. So I'm questioning when this culture, civilization, is encouraging, sustaining individual success, your personal success, your personal security, whether you're not destroying mankind. Not that there should not be personal security, as it is, unless we all join a commune. But then that commune, through that commune, one says, I'm secure here. You follow? This process goes on throughout history. So I'm asking, now we have examined it, right? Sufficiently. Now are our minds together on this? Right? Which means that you see the danger of division. You see that there can be no relationship when there is any form of me first and you second, or any form of I must fulfill myself. I believe this at any price and I won't yield. You follow? All this is the movement of division. One is a Catholic, one is a Protestant, and all the nonsense that goes on. Right? Now, we have examined it. Are we together in this? Careful now, be careful. Don't accept anything that I'm saying. Are we together? Have you examined it fully? Does that mean if I'm a scientist and I have studied and make a success of my study and become a scientist and a position, money, do I give that up?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Why not?
Because if you're paying attention to this desire to make money, be a success, you could continue.
So look, as things are, as society is, I must do certain things.
Yes.
I can't give up my job and say, no, that gives me security, I won't have security. That's nonsense. Right? Are we together on this? That means you are no longer French. And you are no longer British or American. Or you don't have any hidden desires for fulfillment. See the whole consequence of this. When you do and see the result of all this, our minds are together, aren't they? No? Yes or no? Then, wait, being together, then is that being together in that sense, does that give us the capacity to think together about anything? You get the point?
Yeah.
You understand? You can think about God, thinking together about God, thinking about any religion, any vows, and all, anything. Then we're always together. You understand? Wonderful. You see, that means we are willing to listen to find out, right? 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 Are you willing? Are you willing to listen? Now, watch carefully. If you listen in the sense, no interpretations, no interference, just listening. Aren't our minds together when you're listening? All right. When you are attentive, really attentive, we're not divided. You've discovered this? Discover it for yourself, not because I tell you. When there is complete attention on your part, on other person's part, there's no division. Do you understand? Are you in that state? Please, go on. So is that not love? We're answering Mr. Steve's question. That is, when there's complete attention, there is no division.
Well, there's silence in that.
Of course. Attention is silence.
Right.
Moment any projection of thought comes in, it's inattention. So you discover something, if you pursue, that thought itself is divisive. Huh? Do you see that? Really see it? Good. So there is a state, a quality of mind, which has no, in itself, the divisive factor. You understand?
We seem to be using thought in two different ways.
What's that?
We seem to be talking about thinking in two different ways. We're saying that thought itself is divisive.
Oh, absolutely.
And
no, I came to that point when we said, after all this, an hour we spent on it. And I said, when there is complete attention, there is not only silence, but that quality of mind that has, in itself, has no division whatsoever. And that may be the quality of that extraordinary thing called compassion. Now, have we got this? Get it into your blood. So it's not a question of that you forget it when you leave. You don't forget your face. So absorb this from through all your pores. So that you have mind, a quality of mind that has no division in itself. You asked the other day, what is atmosphere? Remember? Can it exist in the garden? Can it exist in the sitting room, in your room, or in this and that? Now, when we are all attentive together as we were just a few seconds ago, there was this quality of atmosphere. Did you notice it? So, go on, flower from there. Don't stop there, move from there. So a mind that's not divisive in itself has a quality of that attention and therefore compassion. And from that, in that state, what is relationship? You understand? You get it? Because some of you are going to marry or boyfriend or whatever you're going to have, and you will say, we love each other. That's a lovely word, isn't it? Having that mind in which there is division. How can love exist when there is division in itself? You understand? You're capturing it. Got it? Ravi, you're gone away or still here?
Oh, I'm still here.
Good. Have you understood this? And this is real education, you understand? You can learn about mathematics, any other subject, but you can't learn about this. You have to discover it, you have to delve into yourself, you understand? Ask questions. Say, ask question, can we think together? And a lot of objections.
Sir, could I just come back to that again? Because I think it's confusing the way we're using the word thought. We say that thought is divisive, and when we look at it in a certain way, it obviously is. And yet we also ask, can we think together? And when we talk about that kind of thought, it's not divisive.
I mean, to build a rocket, to go to the moon, there were 300,000 people employed in it. They were all thinking together, each man doing his particular little job.
Yes. But there's also a kind of thinking together about other
Oh yes, surely.
problems.
But you may think together about something, because there is a reward in it or there is punishment in it, and go home and still carry on this individual, separative, self-centered action. That's what we are talking about.
Right, but there's another kind of thinking together as well, which is not divisive, or at least that's what we've suggested, that comes from communication.
Yes, that's what I'm...
And it's an entirely different activity than the thought that is divisive.
So we went into it.
So is it similar to what you've said in the past, that thought is not intelligence, but intelligence can use thought?
Obvious.
And in this case, this other community...
You see, I mustn't go on. When there is attention, that is intelligence. Then that attention and that intelligence can use thought. Knowing it is divisive, so it's intensely alert, doesn't bring about activities in this division. In this, you understand? Now can you, please, we must stop. Can you now give complete attention again, not about something, attain. In that attention, we are together, right? You see it? Huh? Right. Better stop. Is that enough for this moment? You want food? Is that enough? Yeah. Shall I get up? We'll get up.